Just doing another long video here. P.A.W, the belt god, going through some of these new awesome belts that's been dropped since WrestleMania. Man, Triple H was never really my favorite wrestler, but you cannot disregard the impact he's made on the industry as a heel with DX, and then from there now as the COO of the WWE. And so you look at some of the titles that he has here. Of course, they dropped this old signature series a while back when. This most recently for his 30 years. And then this this legacy belt here. Again, a complete monster. So these three belts, of course, there are other ones as well, but I didn't think they were really that interesting. The DX belt they had as well. Actually, no, that was the game era. And then from there, he also had a era when he came back from his surgery, and it had the denim, and they literally had denim on that belt. It's not that good looking, in my opinion, but to each its own. But these belts here are, I believe, quite epic. I showed this one off recently. The black plates, the brushed metal. Strap is really kind of stiff, but black gems. It's a really, really beautiful belt. I wasn't much of a huge fan of this belt when it came out, but I was getting all the signature series at the time. Well, at least some of the decent ones and wrestlers I somewhat cared about. And so the shape was always interesting for a strap. But, you see they had that same shape for this one, but it looks better with this type of plates. But, the big eagle. But this monstrosity, the thickness alone, I swear, the plating, like WWE, I say after maybe the U.S. title, and they came out with, the World Heavyweight belt, and they came out with a number of other ones, the type of plating they're doing, and just, this is the stuff that the Pakistan folks can't do. I mean, with the strap as well. Of course, 317 out of 500. Man. What they're doing is getting way more creative. Long are the days of just normal, 3-plated belts or 5-plated belts. They're doing more creative things with the belt tips, with the strap and the leathering. You got this stacked leathering going into this sledgehammer plate here. Again, you see the thickness. So kudos to WWE for expanding what they are doing with their title belts. Because, again, if you're not offering it on TV, and if, how many more times can you just keep reselling the same belts? Well, when you keep doing creative things like this, and it's catered to wrestlers that people are interested in and love, then yeah, I'll say it started with that Undertaker legacy belt. That thing was a thing of beauty as well. And they've, for the most part, been knocking it out the park since then, These are becoming some of my favorite belts in my collections. I don't know if there's really anybody else that they can come out with a belt with anytime soon. Maybe some of the women. Charlotte probably deserves a belt at some point. Bianca Belair maybe way on down the line. Just looking at my titles now, they hit most of the main wrestlers, the Shawn Michaels, the Bret Harts, the folks in my Hall of Fame here, my favorites. This is part of my arcade. But, yeah. So you got most of the main players. So what they plan to do next, I'm interested in seeing. But until then, I got one more major new belt coming. You know, I'm at 130 now, and so my 130th is being created right now. I will drop that belt once it gets here. After that, we can finally do a tour. But until then, I'm gonna drop these. Definitely, I know this has been a long time coming. Huge belt fan for years and years, and so I want to be able to finally kind of show off what I've collected. There's a lot of great belt collectors out there, a lot of great people on YouTube dropping their collections. Props to them. I think WWB, there's Wicked, there's a number of folks. My man Dan from American Top Team has a major collection. Conrad, of course, had a major collection. So, I'm not them. I'm not going to sit here and tell you the history of every single belt and go deep into the etching. I'm not a belt maker, but I'll definitely give you my honest opinions, go over my extensive collection, share some stories about the belts that I got, how I feel about them. We can just have some fun. Feel free to drop some questions or whatever else in the comments. What belts you want to see? What belts should I get? What belts do I have? I got not just WWE belts. I got a number of indie belts as well. I got UFC belts. I got boxing belts. So it's an overall rounded out collection. Plus over 160 autographs. So that's another thing that makes my belt collection a little bit unique. I definitely put in the time and work to get all of these belts signed. So, we'll see. Hope you enjoy. Peace out.